Hello and welcome back. Bear with me now, and there should be something here for everyone in this whole East versus West controversy. Now, your perspective likely depends on how long you've been following arm wrestling. If you just started following it after the pandemic, then you're going to have a different view. If you started following it in 2000, you're going to have a different view. My perspective on this is that there's really nothing new with all this. I started following arm wrestling about 2010 and strength sport before that, and I saw the leagues come and go. I saw WAL thrive. I saw PAL thrive. I remember Zloty Tour. I remember the Top 8 and Mazarenko's tournaments. But to bring it to the current issue, all right, look, there's two ideologies at play here. In the West, in America, people like blood sport. They like gladiator games. They like WWE wrestling. They like combat sport, UFC. Now, and that's where the main market is. I'm going to make a simple comparison here for that. If you watch the movie Gladiator, the fighters come from around the world. They're sourced from around the world, but they fight in Rome because that's where the audience is, that's where the market is. So for this combat-like, MMA-like type promotion, this drama, this hype type deal, that's the American market. If you want to suit that, then follow Devon Larrat. He's doing the exact right thing. Case closed, basically. Devon and people like him are going to sell arm wrestling to the North American market. If you're on the other side of the fence and you think it should be a gentleman's game, more the Eastern style, well, then that's not going to really sell that well here where the market is. So you got two different camps, and the bigger question is, what should the sport be? Should it be separate things? Or should it be does it have to be all one thing? Because if it does, then that's where the problem is. It's almost like you could have both. You could have the polite gamesmanship of a gentleman's sport. You could have that in its own setting. Then you could have the more WWE, looser rules, more entertainment value type thing as well. And people are upset saying it's a split. Well, if you see it that way, pick one or the other. Arm wrestling is big enough to go all the way around. It can fit both styles. So in a way there is an issue, but there isn't. And it's I would encourage you all to study the history, because when you study history, you see that things that have happened before tend to happen again. And arm wrestling has kind of been on this path for a long time of it'll unite for a while, then it'll pull apart and unite. But looking at the final analysis, I believe if you want arm wrestling to succeed as a more mainstream thing in the USA, you need to follow the Devon Larrat, Brian Shaw strongman path, because that's going to integrate it. And we need more characters. We need more Devon Larratts. We need villains and heroes. We need archetypes. A show that did really well at generating character interest was Game of Arms. That format really, really worked well. And WAL even worked well. They had plenty of European pullers. They had Giannis Amelins came over, Hermes came over, Krasimir Konstantinov. There were several European pullers that came over in WAL. Anyway, everybody calm down. Don't get too excited. Arm wrestling goes on. And for the American market, I believe Devon Larrat and Brian Shaw are headed in the right direction. Let me know what you think in the comments. Stay strong. Keep training.